everyone, and welcome to the Woolly Wonka Fibers podcast. My name is Anne, and this is a podcast about my knitting, spinning, my indie dye and indie design business, as well as some fun crafty things. You can find me on the web at www.woollyWonkaFiber.com. I have a Facebook account and an Instagram account as Woolly Wonka Fibers. You can find my Ravelry group under the same name, Woolly Wonka Fibers. And if you're looking for my personal pages, for project page or my designer page, you can find that by searching under Bunny Spinner. So today is October the 23rd, 2016. It is a Sunday. Beautiful fall day today. I just got back in from taking a nice long walk. I walked down near our neighborhood has both a small greenhouse and a distillery. Both are very small, kind of artisan size things. I mean, there are things people run out of their houses. So I walked down the hill, walked past those, just, you know, someplace new to go, checked out some folks' horses, looked at a new herd of goats. It's like the picture perfect day out there right now. It's in the upper 60s and sunny. No blustery weather. It's nice to be outside wearing just a light sweater or a light jacket, or even a fleece vest is all you need. It's just gorgeous here right now. So I've been trying to take advantage of that and get outside as much as possible. Today is the first day this entire month that I have not worked. I have not gone to my studio today. I decided I needed to just have a mental health day where I didn't go and do that. I shipped 2 more big boxes of yarn out Friday, and I still have more to go, but I just, you know, you have to have a break every so often, and today I decided it was going to be my day. My husband got up and went fishing, so I'm here hanging out with my tea, with the dogs. I'm going to do some crafty things now that I've had my walk. Dinner's going in the crock pot. All good. A nice relaxing weekend day. So let's talk about fun shop-related things first. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up that if you're in the greater Albuquerque area, I will be doing a trunk show for the Filament collection, as well as having some of my other yarns that are not carried at the shop, at the yarn store at Nob Hill. That will be November 5th, which is a Saturday. And I will be there from approximately 10 to 2. The website, which I will link in the show notes, should have information on the class that I'm teaching in terms of class hours and pricing and all of that. But I'm going to be teaching my wool breeds class there as well. And then, like I said, the other half of the time that I am at the store will be for a trunk show and meet and greet. And I will have copies of the new Filament magazine there with me, as well as the actual samples. So you can have a gander at those if you're so inclined. So it should be a fun time. Would love to see some of you if you decide to come out. And like I said, that you're local to Albuquerque, that's something that you can do. So that again is November 5th, Saturday from 10 to 2-ish. Looking forward to that. The next tidbit that I wanted to share with you guys, and I will have more information next podcast, is on the Woolly Wonka Fibers clubs. November is traditionally when I kick those off. I give folks a couple of months to subscribe if they're interested. So you'll have November and December to sign up. I'm going to be doing 4 clubs next year. The Fiber Club, which will be basically the same. It's a monthly 4 ounces of fiber, various and sundry bases, colorways, something new. You'll have the choice between a hand paint and a solid color, or you can get both. That will be happening next year. I'm going to be doing a sweater club again next year, so if you enjoyed this year's sweater club, I will have a few more details on that. I'm still trying to make some final decisions on the bases, the yarn bases to use. So that will come with 2 patterns again like last year, about the same time frame, probably March and September for those 2 items. You get to pick your colorway. Fun. I think everybody had a good time with the sweater club this year. I hope you did anyway. So that will be announced as well with the 2 kind of main clubs that I'm going to be running in 2017. So the first of which is going to be my lace club. I think this is year 8, and I know I have a lot of return customers. So if you've been in it before, not any huge changes, but I am doing a few different things this year to try to keep the prices down to a dull roar. Still going to be 6 items. They will be lace, oddly enough, since it's the lace club. I am going to do 2 smaller sized projects this year that will not specifically be shawls, because one of the tidbits of feedback that I've gotten from folks is that it's, you know, life and things get in the way and you wind up with some larger projects that you'd love to finish but you just don't have the time to do. So going to introduce a couple of smaller projects that will be lace, but they will be smaller 1 skein projects as opposed to the larger 2 skein shawls. We'll still have those. Those will still exist. And fingering weights. There will not be any lace weight this year. And then the other months that I'm not shipping Lace Club, I'm going to be doing a color and texture club. So if lace is not your thing, and or you'd like to kind of focus on some smaller projects, then that club is probably a better choice for the things you're interested in. So it will be a whole different mix of bases. One thing that I'm very excited about is I've paired up with Blackwater Abbey, which if you haven't used their gorgeous Irish tweed yarns, you're in for a treat. They are going to be supplying one of the club yarns this year for me. I think it's in March. I think it's the March club. So the projects in that 6 kit offering will be things that are either textures, cables, seed stitch or moss stitch, things that have, you know, a textured surface, hence the name, not particularly lace oriented. And then the other, so 3 of the projects will be geared towards that, and 3 of the projects will be geared towards color. And it might not necessarily be true color work, although there will be some projects in there that will have that. But it will be things that the projects will have more than a single color in them. And I can release the theme as well, which I'm very excited about. One of the things I did this summer was I went back and I reread all of the Ellis Peter, well, not all of them, let's say half of the Ellis Peter books that are the Brother Cadfael mysteries, that are the medieval monk who is the herbalist for the monastery. And I found online this great book called Brother Cadfael's Garden. And it highlights all of the plants that are used either as plot tidbits or just mentioned in the Brother Cadfael books. And I love the sort of medieval herb garden concept. So all of the projects for next year are going to be themed on something that you would find in a medieval herb garden. Not necessarily the Brother Cadfael mysteries per se, but I am using this book as one of my reference tools to develop the projects. So for instance, and you can see I've got a lot of pages marked here across the top. There'll probably be some traditional things that you might think of. But then some other things, like we're going to have an ivy themed piece. for one of the pieces. I won't tell you which one yet, but all of that I will have for you next time we talk, and there will also be information in my group. So climbing ivy. So each of the projects will have a little tidbit about what the medicinal use for the particular plant was, why I chose it, the motifs that will be in the particular piece. So I think that's going to be kind of fun and a little bit different than some of the other themes that I've done before, but still kind of rooted in that historical literature feel of things. I'll have some other little fun tidbits that I can let you guys know about once the clubs go on sale, but they will go on sale November 1st. So you can pick and choose, again, from those, the Lace Club and the Color/Texture Club. You can choose to do 6 months or 6 months, where they each come every other month. You can choose to do one package every month. You can just choose to do the pattern collections. I will have those available as ebook collections that you'll get the pattern added to your Ravelry library as they release over the course of the year. Folks who want to pay up front for either of those clubs get a 15% discount, which also gets you your shipping. And I'm also doing an installment plan for both of those, and then of course as well for the Sweater Club, which is set up to be an installment club anyway. So lots of information there. I will go into more depth about some of that next week, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up about that. The clubs will stay open. The slots for the clubs will stay open, let's see, through probably about the 25th. I'll probably close them right around Christmas. So if you want to put one of these or all of these on your wish list for a gift giving kind of thing to a significant other, you can have them simply contact me through the shop, and I will set them up an invoice, and I will take care of that. Or if you feel like they're good shoppers, you can send them off to the website after November 1st, where they can leave a note at checkout to just let me know that it's a gift and to whom I need to ship it to. So I think that's it for shop info. Hopefully you guys are still with me. Let's talk about other fun things. I just wanted to share with you guys, this is a pattern that has been out for a while. It was in the Interweave summer issue of 2017, Interweave Knits, and it's the Rosa wrap. But I finally got the sample back so I can show it to you in real life. This is a worsted weight wrap. It is knit from Dream in Color, their worsted, their classy base. The colorway is In Vino Veritas, which is this gorgeous wine color. You know, no surprise there. And so the shawl is a basic rectangle. It starts here at the top edge and is knit this way. It features this little undulating, lace pattern for the body, and then the edge is trimmed with this fun cable panel. That is not a true colorway at all. Neither is that. That's better. There we go. It's still a little orangey here, but you can get a better idea. It takes 3 skeins of the worsted weight, but because it's worsted, it knits up quickly. It's a nice, generous wrap size. Optional fringe on the ends, which you can add or not as you see fit, but the pattern tells you how to do that if you would like to add fringe. One of the pieces I really, really enjoyed knitting up this past year, and it's easily extendable if you wanted it even bigger. If you're someone who's tall and wanted more length, you could easily pick up a 4th skein, add on, just keep working the pattern. Since it's worked short end to short end, very customizable. So I'm looking forward to having that one to add to my wardrobe for the fall and into the winter, because I think this colorway looks great with charcoal or black, which I wear a lot of. So yeah, so that is a long time ago finished object, but now you can see it in person here on the podcast. Things that I am working on. Kid Silk Haze sweater. The sleeves are done. Yes. Everything is joined together, so I'm up to this point working it from the bottom hem up, so I'm up to right here. So I have the yoke left to do, and that is my go-to project for the week. I have a couple of numbers I think I need to tweak to make sure that the yoke is deep enough, but that should be something I can accomplish. Excuse me. Allergies still here. It's horrible. Anyway, so that is my focus project for the upcoming week. I also have been working on my little strawberries and cream frappe socks from the Coffee with CC collection. You saw sock number 1 that I had finished up last week. And sock number 2, I have finished up the foot and I turned the heel, and I have just started, I've done the first set of the textured pattern on once I've joined it back into the round after I finished the heel. Fish lips kiss heel. So I have the leg left to do. And so my plan is to finish these up this week, get these done as my Socktober plan. Also part of the Coffee with CC along, and the sock club from the Knitting Broomstick that Jilly's hosting. Of course, the Socktober knit along that I'm hosting in the Woolly Wonka Fibers group, and the box of socks knit along that Kristen at Yarngasm is hosting. So these are also kind of focus on projects to finish up. I do want them done by next Monday, which is the 31st. So I can count them for Socktober. These are a really fun knit. I have enjoyed every minute of them. The pattern, it has just enough interest in it to keep you going, but you can memorize it after you do a couple of repeats and sort of see how stuff lines up. It calls for a cable needle, but I'm not working it with a cable needle, so it's going along pretty quickly. Up next, just to share with you guys some things that are kind of on deck. I think I mentioned last podcast that I had a couple of gift knitting things that were sock oriented that I need to get finished by Christmas. So I thought I'd show you the yarn that I'm going to use, because I'm 99% sure that the recipients for these do not watch my podcast. But Will and Charlie, if you are watching this, go away. There's nothing else of interest here, nothing to see. Move along. So Will and Charlie are my nephews, and I adore them, and they are such interesting kids. They're late grade school, early middle school age. My older nephew is really, really into ice hockey. He plays ice hockey. He is on 2 different teams. They practice at the hockey arena where the Capitals in Washington, D.C. play, and a couple of the kids in his class at school, their dads actually play for the Capitals. So I am going to be knitting up Will a pair of Capitals socks for Christmas. So red and white stripes, and then the blue for the toes, cuffs, and heels. So the yarn here is from Desert Vista Dye Works. It's their Viso sock base, which is the superwash merino nylon blend. Self-striping. The colorway is officially We Salute You, but you know, it's going to be the Capitals as far as I'm concerned, because red and white and blue are the team colors. And red and white are also the team colors with black for his school hockey team. So these will go on the needles. I have these to work up. And then my other nephew, Charlie, they're brothers. Charlie makes me laugh because he reminds me a lot of myself at his age. Charlie loves things that are all magic and mystical, and he is a huge Harry Potter fan. They wound up going to, I always get Disney World and Disneyland confused. I think Disneyland is the one that has the Harry Potter street, the World of Harry Potter, the one that's in Florida. They went there this spring, and I wish that I could show you, but I will not for privacy purposes, the pictures that his dad took of him. He has the biggest smile on his face in every single one of those pictures. I mean, this kid had a blast at the Harry Potter world, the world of Harry Potter. He would love to grow up to be Harry Potter. So I did some probing when we saw them last, and he is definitely a Gryffindor. And so I have gotten him a skein of Gryffindor house colors that are also self-striping to do him up a pair of socks. This colorway is from Mint Rain. There's their card, if it will focus. And it is the Tough sock, which is the same base. It's the 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon base. Self-striping colorways in the house, the Gryffindor house colors. So I'm going to do that up for Charlie for Christmas. I haven't decided yet if I want to do a pair of, or do contrasting heels for these. I might see what I can do. Maybe gray, just to keep the color progression going. But at any rate, these will be for Charlie. So those are the two self-stripey pairs that I have to knit for Christmas. So, you know, I've got a couple months, basically 2 months from today. If I do a pair a month, I figure I can probably finish those up. So I think they'll both be fun knits for me, and I just need to check with their mom because they're both at that growth spurt stage where every time we see them, you know, Auntie Anne is getting shorter and shorter each time. They're not quite that tall, but my older nephew's almost my height already, so his mom and dad are both very tall. So that'll be upcoming. Those are kind of on deck, so stay tuned for those. Spinning. You guys, I have yarn to show you. Not just like the same, here's the roving. I have actual yarn that I finished. Yay! Now this is only half of it, but still, I'm excited. I'm happy. This is the Hilltop Cloud Merino Bamboo Blend from their Time Travelers Club. Last summer, I think it was. It's in the colorway Tyrian Purple. I spun this up as a 2-ply. It is just under 4 ounces, and it is 451 yards, which I'm really happy with the yardage on that. And it came out so lovely and squishy with just a little bit of sheen to it. I mean, you can see, I think, a little bit of the lighter kind of bright purple fuchsia merino or bamboo that's blended in with the merino. So I have started on the final 2 ounces of singles. I have half of the 4 ounces left spun into singles, and so I've got 2 ounces finished, and I'm working on the second 2 ounces, and then I have to ply them. But I'm hoping I will have around 900 yards if I've spun this fairly consistently, maybe even a hair more. So I could potentially get like a really lightweight cardigan out of this, and I may do that because I love this color. I think it's gorgeous. I think it would be really, really pretty worked up into like a lace cardigan or just something very simple to show off the color of the yarn. So yay, something finished for a change in the world of spinning. So I'll work away on those 2 ounces, see how far I get, but I'm going to do a little spinning this afternoon since I'm off, and yeah, like I said, see how far I get. Let's see. Okay, so last but not least, I have a couple of stitching projects to show you guys, some progress on the Plum Street Samplers pattern that I've been working on called Babushka's Blossoms. You've seen that before. So my husband was away on travel this week, which meant that I came downstairs and sat with the dogs at night. Usually I sit upstairs where I have a little bit better light, and he hangs out with the dogs in the evenings, and they do, like, he ties flies for fishing, or he surfs the web or something, and he sits with them for an hour just while they fall asleep and snore and make dog farts and stuff like that, you know. like they do. Anywho, sorry, that was way off topic. Here's where I am currently on this. I finished the pumpkin, and I've started the Babushka's skirt, which is the floral part there in the center, and did her broomstick. And then I started on the bodice, which is the green that the yarn or the thread is currently attached to. So I have left to finish her. She's obviously got the upper torso and her little kerchief to finish. And then I have a matching flower to this one that will live on this side. So just under 3/4 done. It won't be finished this week, but I'm still hoping I might have it done in time for Thanksgiving. Gonna push along on this as kind of my focus piece when I do have time to stitch this week, in the hopes of getting some good progress in on it. So that's been a fun stitch. I've really enjoyed that. The pumpkin was a little tedious, but that's okay because it's done. Yay! It's done, and I think it's, I don't know, it's just really cute, the sort of oddly misshapen house, and you know, little details like that little teeny heart right there. And honestly, my favorite part of it, let's see if I can get this to focus, is the like quilted star. I could totally see doing just that as a little ornament. I think that that would be really pretty. So I have done that, and then I had joined a stitch along. That's a mystery stitch along. So you get there's 16 clues, and they're fairly small. Each of the clues is fairly small, and you get them once every couple of weeks. From Tempting Tangles is the designer name. And so I had joined, and then changed my mind about what fabric I wanted to use, and so I hadn't really even gotten started, and so clue 1 was out, and then clue 2. The fabric finally came right around the time clue 3 was released, and I thought, well, I'm gonna get caught up, and then I will just be able to work on the blocks as they come out. So clue 4 was released this past Friday, the 23rd, I think that was. And so, like I said, none of the clues are very big, but these are the first 4. And I'm doing this on a hand-dyed linen, and I'm also using hand-dyed floss, so you can kind of see, sorry, let's get this together. Like all of these purple flowers, there's one set that are light, and there's one set that are dark, but even within the dark colors are kind of variegated, so this color is the same as that color. But depending where you are on the thread, you can see it also in the green of the center vines. That's all just one color. But because it's hand-dyed, it's tonal, like, you know, hand-dyed yarn. So I really like how that's coming up. I think it looks pretty and very sort of soft and antique-y, and it reminds me of kind of the late 20s, early 30s. I'm not sure why I think that, but I do. So this is as wide as the piece will be, and then each of these was a separate clue. So this is clue 1, clue 2, clue 3, clue 4. And so the rest of the clues then will actually go this way for the second half. So I'm caught up with that. Like I said, the last clue came out on the 23rd. So it'll be another 2 weeks before the next one comes out. It'll be into November. So I'll just put this one away, and I'm just going to try to keep up with it. Each block maybe takes a little more than an hour. It's maybe an hour and a half. The designer said that the other blocks further down will be a little bit more complicated, so they may, you know, maybe 2 hours. But excuse me. But I feel like if I now keep up, now that I am caught up, if I keep up with that, I can easily do that some weekend. We get up early. I could do a couple of hours before I do anything else and have a block finished, and not, you know, it's not a huge time commitment. So that's what I'm working on. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Next week, our schedule for the podcast is going to be a little bit late. I will not be recording likely until Tuesday, which is the 1st of November. So just don't look for anything too early in the week from me. Got some stuff going on that I needed to kind of push the podcast back out a day or two. But otherwise, I will be here then, normal stuff. I will have some more details to share with you guys about the clubs for next year. Let you know how to purchase those if you are so inclined. Talk to you a little bit more about other stuff that's going on, and just get ready to kick off November. To me, November is kind of the beginning of the holidays. Thanksgiving at the end of the month, my folks are coming, and we'll start decorating for sort of the harvest-y feel in the house, fun things like that. But anyway, till I talk to you guys next time, I hope you have a wonderful week. Enjoy some crafty time, whatever your poison is for that. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.